Have you ever wondered how some people make eating healthy, exercise, and managing stress look so easy? You can too. Welcome to Wellness Wisdom, where we uncover the secrets to lasting health and happiness and empower you to make wise health choices, see results, and create a healthy lifestyle for good. Join Camille Kennard, licensed social worker, certified health and wellness coach, a self-care specialist on the journey to explore how to make health and well-being possible for you. It's a health and wellness journey you can take together. Please welcome your host, Camille Kennard.
Welcome, everybody, to Wellness Wisdom. It's January 2020. Can you believe it's already 2020? Isn't that just crazy to think about? The new year has a lot of excitement to it, right? It's a new beginning. It's a new page. We can leave 2019 in the past and start anew. I know for me, I get really busy in 2020 because a lot of people want to set goals. They want to change their health habits. They want to, exercise, eat better, take care of their stress. There's so many things people want to do. And I'm really excited for the episode we have today for you guys because it's going to give you a jump start to your year. And I have Christine Lavulo with me. Christine, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Camille. I'm glad to be here.
Christine is amazing. She's a life coach who helps people live their beautiful life. She's a mompreneur. She's been self-employed in various businesses since her early 20s, and she worked in corporate America, but her greatest passion was always in helping people with her businesses to serve others and use her gifts and talents. She has a lot of great information and experience, and I'm excited for you guys. She was leading to become a certified transformation code practitioner in 2017. She also is a certified trainer for the Canfield Success Principles. And in 2019, she became certified as an ideal life vision coach. You guys are going to talk about that. This is really cool. She also has learned Ho'oponopono. Did I say that right?
Ho'oponopono.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited to hear about that too, and NLP. So she loves doing workshops and retreats to help people let go of their baggage and learn steps and techniques to create their best lives. She uses the principles of setting goals, but also the law of attraction in helping people reach new heights in their life. So I'm super excited to have this. This is January 6th. It's the beginning of the new year to really talk about how to help people live the life of their dreams. And Christine, I would love for you to share with us what it was that got you into wanting to do personal development. What was happening in your own life that was kind of a transformation for you?
Yeah, absolutely, Camille. So I've gone through a lot of different experiences throughout my life. I had some depression starting in my teen years and dealing with a lot of things. I was a young single mom right out of high school. And when I got married, I thought I'd met the man of my dreams. Everything was going along pretty good. I had my business. And then in 2009, things kind of slowly started crumbling. And I kind of already started getting some energy work and some other things. But as I kind of went through this process of figuring out what was going on in my marriage and how can I fix it, it was kind of a year-long process of dealing with these challenges and realizing that the problem wasn't in my husband or my marriage, but it was me that I needed to focus on. It was things I had to change in myself if I wanted to have the marriage I really wanted. And I started realizing how throughout my life, there were certain principles I exercised without realizing it that made a difference of what if I was prosperous or if I was struggling. So in all the experiences I went through and all the challenges I had to overcome, I realized that I could take all the knowledge I've gained and maybe get some additional tools and resources that I could use then to help other people have better relationships and ultimately create their best life.
Oh, I love that, because I think that's so important for people to recognize that it's possible. Some of us have grown up thinking, well, I can't have this kind of relationship, or I can't have that kind of job that I want to have, or I can't build a business. There's all these limiting beliefs that we've told ourselves. I love that you had, usually our mess is our message, right? We go through our own our own challenges. Often for people, it's a life transition, right? A death or a divorce or something like that really makes them say, what do I need to do to change what I'm experiencing in life? And it sounds like that's what you did through, energy work and being able to kind of have this personal development time for yourself when you figured out who you were and what you wanted to do. I think that's really, really exciting. And I know you and I have talked a bit about really what you think is what you become, right? How you think about things is what happens for you. So what is your favorite thing that you do to help people? Like what is kind of the favorite thing that you just love helping people do?
That's such a loaded question.
Or something that you really enjoy. Like, is there a specific kind of like people that you like to work with, or?
Absolutely. I especially think I love working particularly with women that I feel connected to because of my own experiences. So I always am drawn to women who've maybe kind of lost their way in their life. In other words, I think we get married, we have children, and somewhere we kind of lose our identity in that. So I love working with women that have kind of hit that point, because it does create problems in your marriage, and it creates problems in your career a lot of the times, or sometimes in different areas of your life, sometimes in your entire life. So I love kind of grabbing hold of people that are maybe a little bit not sure how to move forward, and help them figure out, why are you stuck, and let's get past that. And I think you talk a lot about the limiting beliefs, even how you said people say, I can't lose weight, I can't do this, I can't do that. And we've programmed ourselves to believe that. So with that, I would say I love using NLP to get rid of some of those limiting beliefs. I'm kind of reprogramming that conditioning and those neural pathways that have caused us to believe that we can't do things. So that's one of the tools I really love using. But anytime I'm doing a workshop, speaking, a retreat, just seeing people's minds light up and their eyes light up as they kind of have those aha moments, that's what really sets me on fire. That's what gets me really motivated and excited to keep pushing forward.
I love that. It's so exciting to see someone all of a sudden have this opening in their mind of, I've been thinking of myself this way for so many years, and I can be free of that. I don't need to think that anymore. I can believe things that support me and that help me, and all of that. Thank you so much for sharing, because I think your own personal experience and your transformation really helps clients connect to you, and also know that you're using and have used in the past everything you're telling them about, right? The things, like I think of that all the time. I sometimes have things come out of my mouth that are things that I'm working on still, that I'm telling my clients about, right? So I think that's yes.
Such as perfection, but it's, are we making progress?
Yes. Are we moving forward and making progress? I love that. Thank you for sharing your own experiences with us. We're going to take a little break, but when we get back, I would love to kind of talk a little bit more about, dream-driven goals, helping people when they have these goals that they think are too big, something they've always wanted to do, but there's these things that have held them back, like the beliefs, or maybe they have an environment that's holding them back. But I'd love to kind of talk about helping people with those.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Do you feel stressed, overweight, and unhappy? Are you tired of setting goals that you don't accomplish? Do you want more energy, motivation, and focus to create your dreams? Many people struggle to keep up the commitment, motivation, and confidence to be successful, to reach their goals and aspirations. They often let other things get in the way of their personal health and happiness. It doesn't have to be this way. You can change. Join us for a 6-week online health transformation workshop. Learn about the mind-body connection, overcome obstacles to health, create daily health rituals, get support from others like you, and change your life for good. Register now at flourishwellnessconsulting.com under online group workshops, or email Camille at flourishwellnessconsulting.com. Our gift to you as a podcast listener is $50 off the transformation workshop. Use the promo code podcast50 when you register. This year, make peace with your body and like who you are for good.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wellness Wisdom. I'm talking to Christine Lavulo. Did I say it right? She has a beautiful life coaching, and she really helps people uncover what's important to them and live their best life, which doesn't that sound awesome? I mean, this new year, don't we want 2020 to be amazing? And I know some people will say, well, this happened and these things happened to me, but you can actually make your year the best year yet. Doesn't matter what happens in your environment, you can make it an amazing year. So, Christine, before the break, I asked you if you would kind of talk with us a little bit about how do you help people when they have a dream, maybe they want to have a business, or they want to find their ideal partner and they just haven't had those things happen. How do you help them with that?
So it's a very specific approach that I take with clients when they come in with those situations. The first thing we need to do is try to uncover what is creating this block in their life. what is holding them back from really going after their dreams, whether it be a new career or a job promotion or a relationship or even a health goal. You know, what's that limiting belief that's really stopping them and holding them back from really going after that? So I use a combination of NLP and transformation code to kind of uncover those things and then release them so that they're not continually weighing us down. And it is a process. You think you let go of something and then it will come up. It's all in layers. Then from there, once we kind of uncover and release some of those things, then it's just a process of going through how do we now recondition our brains. So I use kind of some of the success principles with the Canfield training. Those have been vital principles for me. And so I found that to be very effective. And then we work with using the ideal life vision process to really start, now let's create the life you really want. That's really the key to getting where you want to be, I feel.
Yeah, I think that's really important to know that maybe there's something holding us back that we don't even know about. It might be trauma from childhood. It might be something that we didn't even recognize was a problem, you know, that's holding us back. So I love that you're able to kind of help people. You know, when I think about, I've explained to a 14-year-old client of mine about neural pathways, and it was like his eyes just lit up. He's like, what? I can actually change this? Because he went from a very hard background. He was in foster care and all of that. And I said, you don't have to believe anymore, I'm bad, I'm worthless, no one cares, I don't fit in. You don't have to believe those. You can create a new pathway that says, I'm loved, I belong, I can do what I can be successful, right? All of these things. And it was like amazing to him to know, oh, cool, I don't have to hold on to this stuff that I believed in the past. I would love for you to tell us a little bit about what is the transformation code? Tell me a little bit about that. Like, how do you use that with clients?
Oh,
maybe that's a complicated one.
It's not overly complicated. If people are familiar with energy work, it's kind of finding these energetic blocks. So we know that everything, learn that from physics. And so as we go through traumas in our lives, it creates kind of like these energetic blocks. So the energy flowing through our body and around our body gets blocked and doesn't flow like it should. So we're not hitting a full homeostasis state. Most people think of homeostasis in terms of just, you know, our body, the way we see it if we look in the mirror. But really, it encompasses all of it. It encompasses our entire energy field around us. So these little blocks can create emotional problems. They can create physical problems. They hold us back. And a lot of times, like we mentioned, it's just something we're completely unaware of. Sometimes we think, oh, I didn't really go through anything as my childhood. And yet I can think of a time when my parents went somewhere and I was left at home. I came home from a friend's and I was home alone. That smallest trauma, it's surprising how it might be impacting us and our fear of, you know, being left behind or I'm trying to think of the word.
Rejection or...
Yeah, well, that fear of being abandoned.
Abandonment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So many abandonment issues that most people have that are affecting their relationships. And it is usually a little minor childhood trauma. So the transformation code uses muscle testing or applied kinesiology. And we kind of go through a menu of options to kind of say, okay, what can your body tell me about what some of the things are that are ready to be released? And then once we do it, we just find it. It's a really simple process of just feeling the energy and pulling it out. So very simple, just seems a little woo-woo sometimes, but very effective. Very effective for me and a lot of my clients as well.
Well, we talk a lot about energy on my podcast because I know that it's something that most people don't recognize, but that is a very true thing. I mean, you can feel the energy in a room when there's a fight going on, or the energy in a room when a newborn baby was born. You know, we all know that there's we have energy, right? Energetically. And I think a lot of times those are the things that are holding us back from being, doing, and having what we want. Be and do and have. I love thinking about what do you want to be, do, and have in 2020. And maybe you need to overcome some stuff that has been holding you back from the past. That's what I love about what you do. It's not just, hey, let's teach you these success principles, but you actually help people overcome what has been holding them back before, because it's kind of like they need that new slate. They need that clean slate to start over to create these new neural pathways and these new goals. So letting go of fears is a big part of what you do, helping people. So in 2020, there's probably some people that want to lose weight or eat better or change their health habits, but they're fearful of what if I fail? Because I failed before. I haven't been able to do it in the past. And you and I probably both deal with failure or fear of failure a lot with our clients, and I deal with it myself. So what do you do when someone comes to you with some of those fears, or that they've tried something before and it hasn't worked?
I can totally identify with that, and I think everybody can identify with that. And sometimes it's a fear of failure, and sometimes it's legitimately a fear of success.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Weight loss, a lot of times people have gone through periods where they look their best, and maybe it created too much attention. It's created maybe challenges that at the time didn't seem like a challenge, but unconsciously, maybe their spouse felt like you're getting too much attention, or other things happened around that same period of time that were completely unrelated to the way they looked. However, they've unconsciously created this belief that if I look great, this will sabotage me in another way, and they self-sabotage. So it can be both. And so the first thing is to find out what is the real fear? And again, using applied kinesiology and some of those things, we can kind of dig into that and find out what is that, what's the root of it, how can we release it? Sometimes it's a matter of just reframing the way you're viewing things. It can be that simple. Mind over matter is truly a very real concept.
Yes.
So just trying to help our minds recorrect itself when we start going down that path of can't, won't, should. All those things that we do to self-sabotage. So catching those things and helping reprogram our mind is really the key for that. And then setting some really tangible, SMART goals, and then implementing some different techniques that will actually help those goals stick. I think a lot of people set goals and kind of that same thing that we talked about. It didn't happen. It didn't work. I'm not good at this. And we start kind of telling our story. We all have stories. We tell them to ourselves. So they run like programs or records in our mind. And so we kind of get stuck in that program of, I can't do this, I'm a failure, where we can break that chain through very simple techniques that with any principle or with any technique, it's got to be applied to work. But when you apply it, it definitely works. I mean, it's just, you plant a seed, it grows. That simple.
I love that. I love that you brought up SMART goals, right? And for those of you who don't or haven't heard about SMART goals, it's kind of everywhere, but it's, okay, tell me again what it is. It's
so first of all, it's got to be specific.
Specific and measurable.
You've got to be clear about what you really want. It can't be muddy. Then it does have to be measurable. You can't say, I want to lose weight. It's got to be how much, and then timely, by when. So the M is for measurable. A is it attainable? In other words, anything's attainable, but is it attainable in the time frame you're setting aside? In other words, saying, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in the next 30 days. Those people aren't going to be able to lose 1 pound a day unless they've got something severe going on that they don't want going on.
And that's not healthy.
Not healthy at all. So you've got to really make sure your goals are attainable. So sometimes it's chunking it down. Okay, this is my ultimate goal, but how can I make this attainable over the next 30 or 90 days? And then is it relevant? Is the goal you're setting really something you want and relevant to where your life is right now? Because I think sometimes, we want to shoot for the stars and we want to dream big. And some people have gotten so far from that, but some people dream a little bit more out there than what is realistic. And that's why they're feeling frustrated. And then again, timely. Are you setting a deadline? I'm going to do this. It's very specific. It's this much by this date, this time, like really digging down and being very specific in those goals and the way you set them.
I love that. So I am going to lose 25 pounds by June 1st. And that's an attainable goal, right? Right there.
To take it a step further. So let's say currently you weigh 150 and you want to get back to your high school weight of 125, just throwing numbers out there. A better way to be saying it would be, I weigh 125 by June 15th, 2020, let's say. So very clear and specific about this is, because you always want to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And when we lose something, we tend to want to find it. So
yes, releasing weight.
Mindset, yeah. So it's about words and mindset. So rather than focusing on what you're going to do, it's what you're going to be. I will be this weight. I will be this person. And then you act as if that's happened.
I love that. That's like the law of attraction thing, right? You're saying it as if it's already happened. I weigh 125 pounds. So you're kind of telling your brain what to create. I love that. I mean, I've listen to Tony Robbins and, all of the law of attraction with so many different people who've shared that. But I've used it. I've done a vision board and I put those things out there of I have this, I am this, and what do you want to do, be, and have, and acting as if it's already happened. And I think that energetically is amazing too, because if you think in your mind, I weigh 125 pounds and I can climb up my stairs with no problem and I can ride a bike, and ooh, doesn't that feel good? Or I'm in a great relationship where we're supportive of each other and we're kind to each other. Just when you create that picture in your mind and that feeling, it's powerful.
The feeling is definitely the key to that too.
I think that's so amazing. So you mentioned we're talking a little bit about goals and dreams. I like to at the new year, because words are so powerful and goal kind of has a negative. Sometimes people are like, oh, it's a goal. Instead of it being like, this is actually, I want this to be something that is going to, what am I going to gain from this? I'm setting something for myself so that my lifestyle will be better. I'm going to be this year. I'm a person who's calm and contented. I'm a person who weighs this amount. I'm a person who loves this, just really focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want, right?
Well, and I think that's a beautiful thing, because it's kind of like how you mentioned, sometimes the word goal makes people really kind of like when the word money comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have sometimes a negative reaction to those words, depending on their situation and their circumstance. So that's what I love about Ideal Life Vision. And rather than setting goals, I'm creating a vision for what my life will look like, and kind of getting into the feeling and the visualization and the picture of what you want your life to look like, to allow that to start to manifest in your life. And not in some random weird way, but more just that it's been put into your brain search engine in such a way that now you're finding opportunities that you would have overlooked previously.
Yeah, it's like if you say, I want a red car, all of a sudden you see red cars everywhere, right? It's that kind of a thing. I did, Ann Webb came last year and I went to the Ideal Life Vision. And that was so amazing. And I actually recorded it and I tell my clients to do this as well, because your most believable voice is your own voice. It's the voice you hear all the time. So telling myself, I climbed 6 mountains this year, and all the things that I set for goals for myself. I did 2 health and wellness retreats. It's really cool to listen to that every day and be like, this is who I am. This is who I really am and who I want to be, and what is. And to see those things come, they often don't come in the way you would have thought they did. It's kind of interesting that way. Like even the pictures I have on my vision board, I'm like, oh, that's happened, but it wasn't the way I thought it would. So I love that idea of focusing on what you're going to gain, and that it's acting as if it already has happened to you. That it's happening right now, that it's in the present moment. And that's powerful.
Another trick that people have kind of works against them in goal setting is that, hang on, I'm going to remember what I'm saying.
Yeah, it'll come to you. There's tricks in goal setting, like
the why.
Yeah.
They forget that there's got to be a why, a what's in it for me. So it's like, I should set this goal because of this, or, I should set a goal to cook dinner every night because that's my role as a wife and mother. But what's the why? What's in it for me? What's going to make me passionate enough to really do the discipline of saying, oh, I'm tired, it'd be just as easy on our way to practice to grab something out. You've got to really think of what is the bigger, deeper why of how is that going to make you feel if you serve your family by cooking healthy meals for them every night? And how's that going to make you feel in your body knowing that you're eating healthier, that you're taking better care of your family? Rather than doing things out of duty, we do it as the what's in it for me type of mentality. And it really shifts the way we feel about the goals. And if we're feeling good about what we're trying to achieve, it makes it easier to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so overwhelming, like, oh, I should lose weight and I should exercise more. I always tell my clients, what are you going to get from exercising more? Won't it be great to have more energy and to like love your body? And, what are you going to gain? Because this isn't like drudgery. This isn't like painful. This actually could be really fun and exciting to make these goals and make these changes, because you're going to get something amazing out of it. And I love focusing on that. I was just telling you a little bit before we started that I had a client today who said to me, I don't even know what to focus on. Like, I don't know what would make my life happier or what would make me more, a better quality to my life. She's in her 70s. She's kind of had some life transitions that have happened. What do you say to someone that's like, that's nice, to set goals or whatever, but I don't even know what I want. How can I figure that out?
That's what we need to clear the noise. Usually we don't know what we want because there's so much out there. Like, I think about, especially a woman being in her 70s. I mean, you think about each decade and each generation, there's more and more vying for our attention. Mm-hmm. And in our day and age, with the internet and all the media and other options, it's hard sometimes to cut the noise and think, what do I want? Because you've got so many other people telling you what you should want. Mm-hmm. And it can become so overwhelming that we almost completely shut down. So sometimes it's just getting still. I know you went to a silent retreat not that long ago. Things like that, where you can just get into meditation and just take time to be still. It's surprising. I have a really great meditation I do in my retreats that really helps people kind of figure out, what is your life purpose? What are you passionate about? And it's kind of just cutting out the noise and start visualizing. You just let your mind go, and it's surprising what will come to us. And a lot of times we disregard those thoughts, not realizing it's inspiration. This is a sign telling me what path I should be on, but I'm ignoring it, thinking I'm making it up in my own mind. But really, it's usually coming from a higher source.
I love that. And I think that's, I did mention that to this woman, and I also had a client the other day who was really, really, really anxious. And I talked to her about the grounding effects of meditation and stillness, because sometimes we're lost from our true identity of who we really are. And like you say, either the, inspiration from your higher source, your higher self, whatever is telling you what's possible and what brings you joy, what turns you on, what lights you up, what would feel really good to you. I think that's really an important thing for people to take that time to be still and to maybe journal or, just recognize what's going on inside of them. In that quiet, the 7 days of silence was like life-changing. I cannot tell. I've talked about that so much with people. Like, it's life-changing because you learn what's important. Yeah. You learn how important you are to the whole of the world and humanity and the birds and the trees and how we're all connected. It's pretty amazing. So, but just that stillness, right? In connecting and then paying attention to, I had this idea. Oh, wouldn't it be cool to like do a bike ride? Or wouldn't it be amazing to read that book that I've been wanting to read, or take that course I've been thinking about taking? Or wouldn't it be amazing to start, getting my meals ready on the weekend so that I can eat well during the week, that kind of a thing.
I think we shut down a lot of our big dreams because we don't think it's something we should do. All over ourselves. We really do.
That shoulding, right?
Yeah. And so a lot of times, like, I know for me being a woman, having children and my religious beliefs, there's a lot of focus on being in the home, taking care of the family, taking care of the kids. And so a lot of women have kind of shut down their dreams because I shouldn't want that. I should want this. And so we kind of go through our lives slowly shutting down what our soul is trying to tell us we're meant to do because of, society's conditioning, sometimes religious conditioning, sometimes childhood family conditioning. There's a lot of different things that we go through that kind of tell us this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what a good woman does, a good man does, a good person does. And we go through our whole life with these different messages kind of being thrown at us. And most of the time we do take them in. And then every time we have something that we feel drawn to, we shut it down because, I shouldn't do that. Because a good person or a good mom or a good wife or whatever we've told ourselves would be doing this. And we hold ourselves in that box. And yet look at all these people that have had monumentally fulfilling lives. They're, financially well off. They've made a huge contribution in the world. They're healthy. They're strong. And that's the formula they followed. They followed their passion and their purpose in life, and everything else has fallen into place because of it. When you follow what you're meant to do and really align your intentions towards that goal, the other things will take care of themselves. Not saying that there's not some work involved, because there's always some work involved, but it's work that's more enjoyable to do because it's aligned with what your purpose really is.
I love that. I just want to soak that in for a minute.
Right.
Being in alignment with what your purpose is. And those of you who are listening to this, and I know, the client that I spoke to today, she was saying, what purpose do I serve anymore? My husband's deceased. My kids are involved in their own lives. Like, what purpose do I have? We all have amazing things we're meant to do. And if you can connect to that, I had an experience early on in my business where, we talk a lot in business when people are coaching me in my business of what's your purpose and who's your avatar and what are you sharing with the world? And the coolest thing is that it came to me very, very, very subtly. Part of my purpose is to love myself. And that was really powerful because I had never really loved myself. I'd had body image issues as a young person. I do health and wellness because of my own struggles with weight. I've released weight since that time, but because of my own struggles, I didn't really love myself. And one of my purposes is to love myself. And for a lot of you out there, maybe that's one of your purposes, is what would it feel like to love yourself, to get that massage, to do that biking or that whatever feels good, cook those meals, spend time in the bathtub, like whatever feels like it's supporting and self-care. I love that, Christine, in your website, how you talked about, or maybe it was on your bio, Christine practices self-care and she feels that's the first key to success. I think that's such an important thing. And, everybody has a different, mission, purpose, why they're here. Mine is to love myself and help others love themselves. And that's huge, being able to do that. But what is your purpose? Like, I want you guys to think about what it is that really lights you up and makes you feel comforted and happy and supported and calm in your life. We have so much anxiety and stress in our lives that I think it's so important to have that parasympathetic time where you just are still and you can have God or your higher power, whatever, whisper to you, this is your purpose. Your purpose is to help your neighbors. Your purpose is to be there for your kids. Your purpose is to start a business. Your purpose is, there's so many different things that maybe could be part of your purpose.
Right. And I think so many people get stuck in that comparison trap of, my purpose isn't big enough. That's not
like everybody else's. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really not about anybody else but you. This isn't a race. It's not a competition. It's all an equal contribution in the world. There's no extra pieces of the puzzle. There's no extra parts. Every single person matters and has value and brings value. Just we all have different roles in how we do that. There's nobody less than or better than. We are all equal, just different. And so letting go of that comparison of thinking, oh, I should have achieved this because I'm this age and that person did it at this age, that's just not my journey. I mean, for me, in my own journey, as much as I would have loved to achieve the things I achieved so far a lot earlier in life, there was a lot of experiences I needed to go through to really refine me to become the person I needed to be to do the mission I'm here to do. And so if I would have tried to speed that up, it just wouldn't have been the right time and things wouldn't have worked out the way they were meant to. So we need to quit judging ourselves by other people's journeys and just be in our own journey. We need to drive our own bus and quit worrying about other people's buses. Stay in our own lane, so to speak.
I love that. That is so powerful. I want everyone to think about how powerful that is, that your individual purpose is different than anyone else, and it doesn't even matter what that purpose is. It can be something you think is small, but it's huge, right? It could be like you're there to smile at people. That's a big purpose in life, right? Yeah.
I mean, how often do we come across a stranger that just made our whole day? Just their countenance, their energy, their smile, just the smallest things, and you walk away just feeling better somehow in that day, is that not just as valuable as me coming up here and speaking and saying, oh, this is what I do? I mean, there's so much we can add value in the most simple ways, and all that value is equal. There's not one that's better or less significant.
I love that. It's all equal. It's all important. So in helping people with their personal development, you know, I think that's what this is kind of about, is what do I want to develop in myself? What do I individually want to develop myself? Not what do I think my family wants me to do, or what my friends are doing, or what other people, but what do I personally want to develop in myself? I think that's a powerful thing for people to sit with and kind of like learn about. I am just curious, because we haven't talked about it, is what is the Oponopono? How do you say it?
Oponopono is
Oponopono.
It's technically an energy modality. It's an ancient Hawaiian technique. So in ancient Hawaiian days, like way back in the day, when the family would have conflict within the family, they would bring the people that were in conflict together. The tribe would all gather, and the people would air their grievances. And once everything was aired and laid down on the table, they walked away from it. It's done. It's over. Well, now this has been brought into a more modern way to do it that is more energetic, because obviously sometimes you have conflict with people that you can't get together with. You can't get them to come together and say, let's just air it and walk away. So it's a more energetic way of kind of releasing those feelings and releasing that negative energy and being able to forgive and move on. And there was a doctor in Hawaii, Dr. Hugh Lin, and he learned about this new technique and wanted to know more about it, and gotten with the person that had developed it. And at the time, he's a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Sorry, I don't remember which. He had a really good practice, and the state hospital the department of the state hospital that worked with the criminally deranged. So these people were in the mental health criminals, and they'd committed heinous crimes. They couldn't keep a staff psychologist on. You know, they just couldn't keep anybody. And they'd heard about all this miraculous work he'd been doing. And so they asked him, hey, will you come and work your magic in our department? So he would go into the office and he'd review each person's file. And really what it's about is finding the mirror. What's the common denominator that we share with people? Because when we have conflict with people, typically they're exposing something in ourselves that we don't like, and we project it. It's a mirror. So what he would do is he'd read their files every day, and he'd start thinking, what might we share in common? What might cause this person to do this thing that maybe I also experience or have in me? And he would look for the commonalities and kind of tap into their energy. And as he did that, he would do the process of Ho'oponopono, which is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And the way I do it personally is I find the commonality, and then I'm like, I'm sorry that we share this, and that I'm reflecting it back to you. Forgive me. Thank you for teaching me what I still need to heal in myself. I love you. Because really, we can have love for everybody no matter what they've done to wrong us. Love is a choice. We can choose to forgive, we can choose to love, we can choose to move past it. It's a decision we just have to make, and then learn the tools that help us to release it. But that process has been so impactful. And with Dr. Hugh Lin, he did this for every day, you know, that he worked over time. And I mean, all of a sudden they started keeping staff. Like the nurses weren't quitting, the doctors weren't quitting, people were staying. And I think it was within 3 years, they actually closed the entire, that entire ward down.
Oh, wow.
People had been healed to the extent that they could now be in regular prison. They weren't violent. They weren't deranged. Now he's got a gift in that for sure. I can't say that I could actually accomplish that with my skill level, but that's where the belief really is the magic. You know, what you believe and what you're willing to put yourself out there to do. It's amazing what we can create with our mind and with energy and with love. You know, again, self-love, loving others, all of that love just has such a high frequency. It's incredible what we can do with that when we forgive, when we love, when we have compassion, and when we just start recognizing that everybody's got their own struggles, and nobody's usually against us. Usually they're dealing with their own stuff, and it's just being reflected towards us.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for explaining that, because I've heard it before, and you may have even shared it with me before. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you for teaching me. I love you. That's powerful. So,
I like to do different orders, but I personally that's the way I like to do it. It works well for me.
I love that. So as we're looking at the new year, 2020, so exciting. You get to choose to release stuff that's been holding you back. And you might need help through a coach like Christine or I to help you see your potential and who you really are. But you get to choose to release limiting beliefs, release things maybe you need to forgive, and to open yourself up to your dreams, to have some still time for that inspiration to come of what do I want? What's my why? Like, what would give me fulfillment? What would make me happy? And then setting goals that are measurable, I think, is really important. Is there anything else that you see is a valuable piece in people wanting to, change something in their lives that maybe, like, it could be like a goal or just something that they want to change? Is there another piece that you feel like is important for them to remember?
Yeah, I think I've kind of mapped out a little process that I think is really key. First, in setting SMART goals, again, getting really specific and clear on that. And then as you become clear and kind of understand your why, it's important that we visualize, that we really start seeing ourselves in that space of becoming that person, acting as if. And then we've got to be very aware of what inspiration comes to us. If you don't take the inspired action as it comes, then nothing will ever come to fruition. The principles work as long as you work the principles.
Yes.
We worked them and they worked, and we didn't work them and they didn't. I mean, in different areas and different times and seasons. But that simple thing, and there is a book I read that really helped me understand the laws of attraction, because so many people see it as so like
woo-woo, strange.
The secret for me didn't hit the mark for me. Like, oh wow, it's really cosmic and exciting, but it just didn't really make sense. And so I come across people all the time that are either big fans of The Secret or not at all. So if you're the type not at all a fan of The Secret, read the book Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. That would really kind of put it into perspective for me of how it's the feeling. It's not just thinking about it, but it's really feeling yourself in that space that opens us up to the possibility of actually manifesting what we're striving for. And so that's why you have to be clear, so that you can really get in that space of feeling it. So that would be my tip, is that set the goals and do those things, but get into a space of really feeling yourself achieving it, because that's where the magic happens.
I love that. Yeah. Because once you feel it, it's like it's there, I mean, the reason we want the goals we want is for the feeling they're going to give us.
Yes.
Like,
exactly.
I want to have a great relationship because I want what that feels like. I want to have release weight because I want what that feels like, or what that, what I'm noticing about myself. Yeah, I love that. I'm going to take another quick break, and I'll just have you kind of keep going with the tips that you have in the Words of Wisdom section, where we kind of talk about just like a couple of things that you would give to people as advice as they're setting their New Year's intentions, things they want to do this year.
Mindful health to help you flourish. What if in just 90 days you could completely change your life? If you could start losing the weight that's been weighing you down, get better sleep, eat better, have more energy, and have a healthy lifestyle for good. Have you ever wondered why changing your health is so hard? Do you want to believe it is possible? What you mentally focus on grows. This program is set up to help you grow a garden of health. In just 90 days, you can learn the habits of health. This is not a diet or a short-term health challenge, but a healthy lifestyle change for the long term. Health starts in your mind. Through this workbook and audios, you'll be guided and empowered with the confidence to see results and change your life. 30 days to plant the seeds of beliefs and mindset. 30 days to nourish the seeds through daily health habits. And 30 days to grow and thrive by gaining confidence and energy when you see the results of improved mood, weight release, and finding enjoyment in moving your body. Buy this program and watch yourself flourish. What you focus on grows. Let's grow a healthy body and mind. Reserve this program today by contacting Camille at flourishwellnessconsulting.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wellness Wisdom. Happy 2020. We're having a great conversation. I'm talking to Christine Lavulo, and we're talking about goal setting. Christine is a life coach with a beautiful life, and she helps people pursue their dreams, which is super exciting. And she has a lot of great experience in helping people overcome things that are limiting to them, overcome things that have been holding them back, and really be able to get a vision of what it is they want in their lives. Christine, I asked you if you would kind of share with us just a couple tips that you have for people. I call it words of wisdom as they go forward. January 6th, it's January 6th today, going forward with January in what they want to do. What are a couple tips you would have in helping them with creating those intentions, those things that they want to see this happen this year?
So I like to say, get out your notebooks, first of all, and start writing everything that you want to let go of. If you haven't let go of 2019, write it out. What went wrong? Learn the lessons quickly that you can learn from those, and then burn that paper and don't look back.
I love that.
Then write down everything that did go right and see where your victories were, because a lot of times we don't realize all the victories and we're focused on what went wrong rather than seeing
what went well.
Right. Yeah. So write down your victories and keep that paper. Hang on to that. Reflect on it. Go back to it when you're struggling and feel like you're not accomplishing things. And then as you set your goals, get into that feeling, build in that intention, and really start seeing the mile markers, I guess. Because a lot of times, again, we set these goals that are like, way far out there. So if you're setting a 90-day goal, what are your mile markers on your way to that 90-day goal? What are the little victories you can celebrate on your way to the bigger victory, and celebrate them? Also, find somebody that will hold you accountable. Accountability is huge. I can say that I practice what I preach to the best of my ability. Some days I'm better than others. However, the biggest issue is that a lot of times there's nobody to hold us accountable because we keep it quiet. We don't really want to try to achieve something, because if we don't reach the goal, then we don't want to have to explain ourselves or be embarrassed. But actually, having that accountability person, even if it's just a good friend, a family member, a professional, whatever you need to do to hold yourself accountable, but have those check-ins and don't excuse yourself. Don't let yourself off the hook too easy. I know we can all be guilty of that, but really, evaluate what went wrong. If you didn't hit your mark, why? What prevented that? What can you change or shift or adjust to make sure that the next mile marker you'll be on? And don't beat yourself up and don't give up, because that's where a lot of people miss the mark most of all. Everybody will achieve the goal if they just stay persistent and keep going. It may not be the deadline you wanted, but you will get there if you just keep moving forward. But most people slam on the brakes, stop themselves in the place, go back to, I'll never do this. I can't do it. I'm no good at this, whatever the limiting beliefs are. And then we're back to square one the next January. So that's my biggest thing I can say is, no matter how hard it gets, even if you accidentally gain weight, just reset, start over, and keep moving forward.
Oh, I love that. Be persistent, reset, start over, and keep going. Keep moving your feet in the direction of your dreams. I love that. Yes, keep swimming, right? Like Nemo says. Thank you so much, Christine, for sharing with us your passion and your heart. And you guys, 2020 is going to be a great, exciting year. Every year can be the best year because we learn and grow. I love coming up with, letting go of the past and then really having hope in the things that we're learning, and sometimes those things that were negative in 2019 is what propels the positive for 2020. I think that's huge. So if people want to know more of what you're doing, your workshops, and connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
So there's a couple of different ways. If you're active on social media, I have my Facebook page at Christine Lavulo Coaching, and my Instagram. And I have a business Instagram, but I will say that probably you'll get more information following me at Mom of 5 Warriors. So Instagram at Mom of 5 Warriors. And then I do have a website. It's www.christinelavulo.com. And that's ChristineLavulo. And that's where I'll post, workshops and different things and some additional tips and things like that.
I love that. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy 2020, everybody. As you're thinking about your goals for this year, take some space and time to meditate. You know, if you need some accountability, definitely you could use someone like Christine or myself. You know, I have my wellness power class that I do for health habits using mindfulness that's coming up January 7th. If you're interested in joining that, it is an online course, and it'll go through everything from your why to getting accountability to celebrating your successes, all of these kinds of principles that are so important in making changes in your life. Everybody have a great day. Happy 2020. And I hope as you're considering what's going to happen for you, that you think about how you can make peace with your body and like who you are. Take care, everybody.